I joke about having, well, I had 4 mothers and 2 fathers and a sister and all of us were together. And for us with my parents, it was all about you find your way to God. You're on this journey here, but find your way. And then when you get older and you can make those decisions yourself. And also what was important for my family, especially my mother, was service to others. My brother, one of my oldest brothers, had polio growing up.
Mm.
And as a child, the only organization my mom would volunteer for the March of Dimes, which was an organization that collected funds for children with polio or other needs. And one day I'm walking around the neighborhood with her. I remember being 7 or 8 and asking, why are we doing this? And she looks at me and says, because that organization was the only one that helped us when we needed it
Mm.
most. And we need to give back. So that was ingrained. How do I find my way in how I name my higher power? And how do I serve one another? And a desire to live in community. So those were kind of things what drew me to be a nun. And I was a nun for 8 years. And it was an incredible experience. It was one of those life-changing, transformative experiences. I loved it. I was in a religious community. The other question many people ask, well, did you wear a habit, special clothing that identified you as a nun? And it's like, no, I dressed kind of as I'm dressing now, but we had a symbol or cross that we wore in our work in ministry and service. I left after 8 years. It was a very hard decision. It was one of the hardest pivots I had to do at coming in on midlife for health reasons. I have, as a woman, I had chronic endometriosis
Oh.
and had 6 abdominal surgeries in 6 years. And so that painful journey saying, I need to get off this train of how I'm living. Now what? And then did a repivot at midlife to pivot to corporate because I knew I could not financially make it serving in ministry when I finished being a nun and trying to do ministry as a layperson, not in an ordained setting or a clergy or a religious community of women. So those pivots of joining and then leaving, the irony is that how I'm living today is that I feel that it's still true to why I joined being a nun when I did. I have a desire of community, family and friends in my current life or my community. I have a desire to serve others, volunteering, wanting to help people on this journey of life that we're on and walk with them as a mindfulness coach to say, hey, I've been there and I want to journey with you.